Wow. The visual imagery of this chapter was gorgeous. Of course, I know it's a webtoon in a visual medium, but I'll get into more detail about it later. Episode 84, titled Hollow Hope, was out yesterday on March 8th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, please read the chapter fully before continuing on this video, as there will be spoilers. Also, do not discuss any fastpass or stream material in the comments down below. Now, let's begin. I know I used to have a section where I talked about my own created title, and although those days are long gone, this title was interesting to me because it reminded me of a book by a similar name when I was in a high school government class. I think the book was Hollow Hope: Can Courts Bring About Social Change, which is fitting for the arc we're currently in, as Lauren tries to fight for the ex-wife who has been wrongfully incarcerated. Although I'm sure that isn't the intention of the title by our authors, and I haven't really read/remember much of the book. The more obvious connection to the title, Hollow Hope, is what we got at the end of the chapter. The tale that is known within the Phantom Scythe, those kidnapped kids from the Annandale train bombing, they are dead. This build-up and hope for 10 years. Lauren really did not have any real evidence, but she finally got something in the form of a lie from Sandman a few chapters ago, and all that hope and struggle for Dylan is stripped away by Kieran. We already had confirmation that Kieran wasn't one of the kids who got kidnapped because he didn't recognize who Sandman is, so we can't really take what Kieran knows that well. Kieran doesn't know every little detail of the organization that he is a part of, which we are reminded of again, as he has no idea who Robin Delaney is. I didn't think this name was that important since Sake claimed to have killed this person, but if it's just an alias, is Delaney still alive? But then why would Sake say that to Belladonna in the Camellia if it didn't serve any purpose? I guess we'll just have to wait for the next mention of this Delaney character, I guess. Basically, we don't know for sure if Dylan was kidnapped, and if he was kidnapped, if he was killed off. Just because Kieran didn't lie could mean that he just doesn't know enough, and Lauren is kind of getting pigeonholed, which is why she's getting caught up in this. Obviously, it's a very emotional search that she's been on for the past decade. There's various sets of imageries that I noticed, which were just so pleasing, and I went back to certain chapters for the location-based one. In the first part of the chapter was the physical and mental separation that Kieran has placed on himself from the others at the APD for Lauren's sake, because he understood the actions he took to cause mistrust in Lauren, such as the tower, and obviously that was adding extra burden on her ever stressed out situation. And since he was the one to impose this barrier, he has been keeping it up well, actually, as we noticed last chapter, how lively the S&E bar is, while Kieran watches as an observer on this temporary piece. The shot of them at the door split by the handle was pleasing, especially since it was Lauren that breaks it. Remember, we saw at Kieran's apartment that he forgot the space that is required between them because of the events of 43, in the form of the coffee cup, but here Lauren closes the gap. Although the gap is still there, the mood and intention of closing in was soft and forgiving. All of that lead up to the final shot of the door, where they're both on the left side. It was beautiful done. I will be skipping the drinking because, I just saw it as more of last chapter's fun. It was definitely needed, but there's not much for me to talk about. The lamp shot of Kieran and Lauren outside of the bar kind of reminded me of Kim and Will's, because, well, it was at night and there's snow and there's a lamp, but here it just seems like the positioning, they're just standing by the lamp that casts the shadow. So I don't know if there's more to the scene or not, because Kim and Will's was clearly, more intentional to me. At least we did get a little nod to the first chapter with one of the callbacks of Kim's bashing her head in. Kieran saying that he had wished he had met Lauren for the first time here at the bar on the ground while she's picking up cups would have been better, and that was honestly very painful to me. Because if they were just normal people in a normal life with normal problems and no leader or this whole situation hanging over them, they could have met here and been pretty happy, and we know that can't possibly happen. They are sadly far too deep in their circumstances to ever find true happiness. We know from the recap episode that there are multiple bridges in the area, but anytime I see a bridge, I get taken back to two chapters in particular, 32 and 10. Such different times. Both the characters, while they're walking or on the bridge, were open and understanding in all three in these moments, as they do trust that no one could really help them like the other can. And we have a lot of water imagery here in this last part of the episode, and it's done in several ways. The first one is about a picture of her parent. The dialogue shows the unsteadiness that Lauren had when she first saw the picture during Anslow's investigation, and that's mirrored in the rippling waters, as now both Lauren and Kieran are now part of the fold for this future Sandman meeting. The second moment of the water imagery is the vertical panel, and it's a little more subtle because the focus is on the dialogue that Kieran says that he believes that the kids that are kidnapped are dead. Then we extend to see more of the river and only see Lauren alone in the reflection. Yes, Kieran has left at this point, but the isolation that Lauren feels is both elongated with this vertical panel here, and we still get that rippling, showing that she's still just as unsteady as she's always been. Amazing, amazing stuff. Well, that's pretty much it. I don't think we're gonna get any real long-standing lightheartedness chapters in a while. I'm fully expecting to get emotionally destroyed as a consequence of these last two chapters. For those who are waiting, yes, the Chica dance is almost done. It will be out hopefully within the month, and I will see you guys in the next one.